In a training school outside Rome, archaeologists found something they didn't expect. Skeletons showing healed fractures, layered on top of older healed fractures, layered on top of even older ones. These men weren't dying in their first fight. They were being broken over and over and expected to keep fighting anyway. Before a gladiator ever entered an arena, he belonged, legally, to a training school called a ludus. And belonged is the accurate word. Most gladiators were slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, though a smaller number were free men who volunteered, drawn by fame or desperate debt. Training was brutal and highly structured. Wooden swords against a post for months before ever touching a real blade, under trainers who had often survived the arena themselves and had no illusions left about mercy. Owners invested enormous sums in each fighter. Food, medical care, specialized diets built around barley and beans for muscle mass, which meant a gladiator's body was maintained with real care, not because anyone valued his life, but because a dead trainee was a wasted investment. Here's what the movies leave out. Most gladiator fights didn't end in death. Skeletal evidence and surviving records suggest death rates around 1 in 5 to 1 in 10 fights. Not because Romans were merciful, but because trained gladiators were expensive, and killing your investment in every match made no economic sense. Fights followed strict rules, referees enforced pauses, disqualified illegal strikes, and stopped fights that had clearly been decided. Different gladiator classes fought with specific weapon pairings, deliberately balanced for genuine competition, not slaughter. Crowds came for skill and drama as much as blood. A gladiator known for technique could become genuinely famous. His name scratched into walls across the city by fans. When a gladiator was clearly beaten, the decision of whether he lived came down to a single gesture. And the popular image of thumbs down, meaning death is likely backwards. Historians studying Latin sources now believe a closed fist or hidden thumb signaled mercy, while a raised thumb, pointed like a blade, signaled death, the opposite of what most modern depictions show. The final call technically belonged to whoever was sponsoring the games, but crowd noise heavily influenced the decision. Tens of thousands of voices deciding a man's fate in real time. For a gladiator sentenced to death, there was no quick escape. A defeated fighter knelt, and his opponent, by custom, delivered the killing blow directly through the neck, a technique practiced specifically so it would be fast rather than prolonged. Arena attendants dressed as Charon, ferrymen of the dead in Roman mythology, would then strike the body with a hammer to confirm death before it was dragged out through a specific gate. What happened next is where the story gets genuinely disturbing. Archaeological evidence from a gladiator cemetery in Ephesus revealed bone fragments, showing deliberate cut marks, consistent with butchery. Alongside evidence the bones had been boiled. Researchers believe gladiator blood and, in some cases, ground bone or flesh were consumed as medicine, believed by some Romans to transfer the fighter's strength to the person who ingested it. One person found genuine value in gladiator suffering. Galen, a physician who served as doctor to a gladiator, school before becoming one of history's most influential medical writers, treating wound after wound gave Galen direct access to human anatomy no other physician of his era had. Information he later used to write medical texts that would shape Western medicine for over 1,000 years. What other brutal piece of history should I dig into next? Let me know in the comments.